Today is day 2 of the Valorant Lockin tournament and we have 3 matches for today. FPX vs Karmine, BBL vs DRX, and C9 vs PRX. Up first we have FPX vs Karmine. FPX is now a Chinese roster, so people weren't sure what to expect from them. Meanwhile on Karmine's side, people were expecting Scream to frag out. We actually have our first look at Lotus in this series, with that pick coming in from FPX. Then we have Haven from Karmine and Pearl as the decider. The Lotus pick was already a pretty big surprise, but what's even more surprising is that neither of these teams are running a duelist. The only difference in comps is a Sova for Karmine and a Fade for FPX. Lotus ends up being pretty messy, and that's why I wanted to show this round, which I think highlights that messiness pretty well.
Another ult invested here, plenty to play with for Karmine Corp as well. The next play is Scream does go down, and now maybe some problems here. Counter ult comes in. This is so messy, Mike. What on earth is going on in this?
Another round where Viper's Pits are going to overlap here, and that's Shin standing his ground once more to deal with another member of FPX. Only 2 left to find. No snake bites for Yuchun. A paranoia to work with. But it's a mess in there on the free cam.
Yeah, this is
They're jumping in with shorties.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous now. And
What?
actually, TZH is obscene with this, but now has to go above and beyond. It's not going to happen.
Lotus did start off pretty close, but Karmine ends up running away with it. Shin looks really good for them on the Viper. But to be honest, I'm just interested to see how the meta of Lotus develops, because I really think we'll be seeing Breach on this map in particular, and the controllers are also going to be interesting. Like, is Viper and Omen really going to be the meta on here? Guess we'll just have to wait and see. Now on to Haven for map 2, and again we have some weird team comps. FPX have a Chamber, as well as double controller with Viper and Omen. Then for Karmine, we have triple initiator and no duelist. For Haven, I want to showcase round 3, as there are a few little nice moments to look at.
This time with Spectres, though, so they do have that bonus round to play with, so why not? And oh, lovely. Navigating around the side, Berlin really working it out. The timing could not have been worse for Shin.
Respecting this headhunter for the time being. But Spike slowly making his way this direction.
Nice synergy building towards the site. Ayak's still here. It's still doing so much oh no! Oh dearie me. I saw gone Pete Tong. We're down to a 1v2. Berlin and TZH. And Scream just wants to get something on his side, at least the time now. Rifle still to hand. No utility for 10 more seconds to play with. Prowler, Horn goes up, does now reveal position. Free fight on the first, and there's no trade. The paranoia, offset on the timing, not good enough to deal with Scream.
FPX actually managed to take Haven despite it being Karmine's map pick. The Viper honestly looked really good. They were using the Poison Orb really well, and the Chamber didn't look out of place either. Now we're on to map 3 being Pearl, and just when we thought the team comps could not get any stranger, Karmine are pulling out the Harbor. They're also bringing in an Omen and once again have no duelist. This means 3 maps in a row, Karmine are trying the no duelist. So this map and the series as a whole, and on Pearl we had the perfect moment to showcase that.
Oh, needed.
Oh my god!
Karmine ended up closing the map 13-6. Looked okay on the defense, and they got some value out of the Harbor. But if I'm being brutally honest, I don't think much was proved here by either team. And in this series as a whole, it wasn't exactly the highest quality Valorant, but there were some standout players. Shin looked really good on maps 1 and 3. Nivera was playing consistently well on the Omen. But yeah, that now means FPX are eliminated from Lockin. Meanwhile, Karmine will go on to verse the winner of Gen.G vs Loud. Our second match of the day is BBL vs DRX. And DRX were easily the favorites heading into this one, and I love watching especially Marco play on the controller. He's just insane. The maps for this series are Pearl for DRX, Ascent for BBL, and then Haven as the decider. Heading into Pearl, a double controller comp for DRX. Meanwhile, BBL are going for the Yo and Bridge, which we don't see too often on this map. Pearl did end up being a pretty one-sided affair, partially due to the individual skill of the players on DRX.
Standing, 40 health now, has spotted just the one player with not in a great spot, flicker or wrist, you gotta be joking.
And also due to just how well they play together as a team.
In sort of hopes of potentially using that as coverage, it's all down to Buzz, isn't it, at the back to try and buy time and hold on.
That was a comical double take.
BBL need to clear Buzz out of this angle. Arby, big weight on his shoulders to try and bail him out. Tap onto the spike. Do they know nobody's on this one now? Just biding their time back and forth. The dash as well into safety.
So horrible for Turco. He's just been played with.
Yeah, just nigh impossible to win.
So yeah, Kushner had a few nice plays on the Yoru, but DRX was simply too good on Pearl. Everyone on that team was playing insane, and they just never looked like losing. Now onto Ascent for map 2. DRX are running the triple initiator, while BBL are opting for something a little more standard and have a killjoy rather than fade. There were plenty of good moments on Ascent. First we have Zest holding down a smoke.
Hit the ult into the back of the site, that is with the spike, but cleared back, a reset of the aim, Zest, an absolute demonic performance.
Then this moment where they swing out 2 in sync.
Oh no! And still DRX are just plucking apart.
It crumbles again.
Yeah, BBL looking for it, but they just swing into it.
And then this tense round.
And now potentially for the Hunter's Fury to be used to initiate a way in, Mercutiona. What a play, what a star. 2 kills as they try and work their way in, eventually just taken out. The door closing denies the kill. Still running their way up through. Jenny RB, how do you get that one?
3v3.
Suchny feels like a bit of an overheat. How are they not claiming these kills? The refight and the spam and the spray down, all down to Stacks. Swarmed from every approach, every angle of BBL.
So BBL actually managed to win Ascent. It was really back and forth, as you can tell from the scoreline there, but it shows a lot of resilience from BBL to come back after their map 1 performance and then beat one of the best teams in the world on a map they're strong on. For map 3 we have Haven. It's almost a mirror matchup, but there's an Astra for BBL and an Omen for DRX. I can't help but wonder what would have happened to the rest of this map if the server just sticks the spike here.
Boston collecting themselves just for the moment now to defuse. Being stuck half on it already. It's up to RB to see if he can deny one after the other.
DRX were insanely dominant on Haven, particularly on their attack. You can see right there, they were up 11-1 at half time. RB on the Killjoy was going 17-1. He died 1 time in the entire first half. After half time, BBL did manage to get a few rounds, but ultimately it wasn't enough. In the series overall, DRX all just played very, very well. This means unfortunately BBL are eliminated and DRX will play the winner of our next match. And our next match is the Gigabanger C9 vs PRX. Honestly, both of these teams are good enough to win this whole tournament, and it's crazy that one of them is about to be eliminated in the first round. The maps for this series are Lotus for PRX, Pearl for C9, and then Fracture as the decider. I think the last thing anyone would expect on Lotus is both teams picking a chamber, but that's exactly what happened. Also interesting that C9 go for the Neon, while PRX have a Raze. Now if you have time to watch a map of Valorant today, I would go watch this one in full because I just can't do it justice. Regardless, PRX had a few good uses of the Sage Wall I wanted to point out. Firstly, this one towards A.
To take an early fight.
It looks like we might be seeing that. Yeah, these guys certainly looking to take a fight early. It's going to be up and above to catch the Neon, and the wall isn't even up. That is so disgusting to plan from the start, and it works out perfectly.
And then this one towards B, even if the rest of the round didn't go as planned.
Getting your kills, and right now it looks like PRX, they're going for the plant right in on the side. I love this wall. They can't be spammed from essentially any angle, can play up above it on the box, but after that, Forsaken's thinking, I don't need to stick around too much. He'll stay inside his TP and just bail out afterwards. Now they've got to deny that defuse.
But that's the thing. It puts you in a very good position to get the plant. I don't know if it's the greatest for the post plant. They've got to try and spam already. It's just being stuck. Leaf's just going all the way. He's going to get it all the way through. That is ridiculous. He just stuck it all the way through.
Despite it being PRX's map pick, C9 take it pretty convincingly. There were Thrifties left, right, and center, probably due to the 2 chambers. But anyway, PRX lose their map pick 8-13. The second map of this series is Pearl, and we have a Phoenix on the side of C9. Otherwise, everything looks pretty standard. There's only one round I can show from this map. Take a look at this from Zeppa.
They're not fantastic. They keep going PRX's way. One return, Mind Freaks, Forsaken Jing on their way towards this site still with that lurk coming in. Oh, that's a great flash.
The no look. He's just flexing on him. And Zeppa now has a chance. Now the wall is going to be broken. A player on the other side, Forsaken, doesn't land the shot immediately. Flash very far away from being back online, but Seekers might give it to him.
Smart.
It is going to be the res instead, but he's going to go swing it on it. What is that from Zeppa? He just eliminates everyone.
So C9 take Pearl very dominantly. Zeppa went absolutely crazy on the sky, and that clutch pretty much shows how the map went, with PRX making mistakes and C9 punishing them every single time. All of C9 played really, really well. Very impressive performance from them, and they'll now verse DRX. Meanwhile, PRX are eliminated from the tournament.